do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
It is Monday, March 4th, and I thought, what's a better way to start off the week than doing a new mock draft? And it's going to be a 2-round mock draft. So what's going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? My name is Matt, and welcome back here today to another episode of the Just Ballin' podcast. So we had a great weekend of college hoops. Houston got a big win. Baylor got a big win. Kentucky got a big win, but they didn't really play much defense in it, and there were some prospects that had some really good games, like Gabe Messi, Isaiah Collier. I was watching the USC game versus Washington, and just throughout the game, I was like, wait, I forgot Bronny is on this USC team, because you really got to look for him, because he's obviously not NBA ready. There's been a whole thing with him, and like LeBron came out on Twitter saying like he doesn't really care about a mock draft, and I think Bronny would definitely be better suited staying another year at USC, and I still think he's an NBA caliber prospect for sure. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a 2-round mock draft today. I haven't done a 2-round mock draft in a minute, just in general, because I don't think I did one last year for the 2023 mock. So I'm excited to do this today. It's going to be like a podcast exclusive here. It's not going to be going up on any other YouTube channel, not on Sross, not on anything else. So if you guys do enjoy these, I'd appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. You guys can let me know maybe in the comments on YouTube, if you're watching the video version where you get to see me make these picks, what you think. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I would really appreciate a rating and review or a follow over there as well if you're not. So we're using Fanspo for you guys watching on YouTube. It's going to be all teams we're going to be doing, obviously. And we're going to do a lottery simulation. So let's just kind of create this draft order. All right, I had to cut there just because it showed like my address for something when I was trying to make it. But yeah, I have to go through the lottery simulation, not just create a custom simulation. So the Blazers 14, Pelicans 13, Bulls 12, Hawks 11, Thunder 10, Spurs 9, Rockets 8, Grizzlies 7, Blazers 6, Hornets 5, Pistons 4, Thunder 3, Wizards 2, Spurs 1. All right, so the Toronto Raptors are not getting their pick here. They are at 9, so San Antonio is going to have 2 picks inside the top 10. They move up 2 slots to win the lottery. This pick, though, that's 3 that I said the Thunder is from Utah, and that pick would be top 10 protected. So, yeah, the Utah would be getting that pick. That won't be OKC, so we'll be making that with in mind that that's OKC. OKC does have Houston's pick at 10. Houston has Brooklyn's pick at 8, and that's pretty much it from the lottery. Portland has Golden State's pick at 14. Pelicans have the Lakers pick at 13, thinking that they will not be making it out of the play-in tournament. So we're going to use this in the mock. Full draft here. Let's get into this. I'm excited. We're going to just do the NBA draft. Okay, cool. So let's get into this. The Spurs with the number 1 overall pick. This would be great for them. Obviously, it'd be great for any team, but now they can kind of see who they want to plug and play next to Wemby. To be honest with you, I love Nikola Topic as the lead ball handler for Wemby, but I don't know if he's going to be as good enough of a prospect to go number 1 overall. I think still for them, I think Alexander Sarr, he's still my number 1 player in this class, would be a great fit next to Wemby, and him and Wemby in that front court together would be filthy because they both have, Wemby can already space the floor, but Sarr definitely has the potential to space the floor. And would it be interesting adding a Reece Shea, who's kind of another wing, but could be a stretch 4, but would that be a little redundant with Vassell and Johnson there? And I don't think so. I think Johnson has probably hurt his Spurs stock this season, with Vassell definitely helping it. But I'm going to go with Reece Shea with the number 1 overall pick. I kind of want to base this off, like, if I was the general manager of this team, though. And if I was, I kind of like the idea of going Alex Sarr number 1. Just to pair him up next to Wemby. You have 2 elite defensive guys there in that front court that can space the floor. And there's a lot of good point guards. Like I said, you have pick 9 as well. So that could be like Isaiah Collier for you at number 9. And there's some other good point guards in this class as well. Obviously, they could look in free agency. Maybe Reed Shepherd's there at 9 as well, and he could be a point guard for them. So I don't think I'm going to go Topic here. I'm pretty much deciding between Sarr, Reece Shea, and I think I'm going to go Alex Sarr, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do this mock draft if I was a general manager of these teams, not predicting what's going to happen. And if I was the Spurs, I would go with Alex Sarr, number 1, to pair him up with Wemby in that front court, because I think they will be able to play together. And with the way the league is going, they're going to be ahead of the curve. Wizards at 2. I think this could be the Reece Shea pick. I think this could be the Nikola Topic pick. I like Topic a ton here, but I don't think that they, I think they're going to bring back Tyus Jones. He's been really good for them this season. We know that they have Bilal Coulibaly and Denny Avdija on the wings. I don't know how much involved Corey Kispert is in their future plans. They have Kyle Kuzma. I don't feel like they could go Topic, who I'm debating, but then they also have a ton of wings. Would that be the Reece Shea pick? I think I would have liked Alexander Sarr, for this team selection here at 2. I think I'm going to... Who do I like here? I think I'm going to opt for Reese Shea because I think they're going to re-sign Tyus Jones, and he could be the point guard, the facilitator. And if they eventually move to Kyle Kuzma, they can have Bilal, Denny, and Reese Shea, which would be pretty cool as a 2-3-4. So the Thunder at 3. This is the Jazz. This won't be the Thunder because the Thunder's pick is top 10 protected. I think they land, or they should take their next point guard in Nikola Topic. You can have Keontae George play off ball a little bit more, and you could have somebody that can set up Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler and Taylor Hendricks for years to come. Obviously, they want to give an extension to Lauri Markkanen this offseason. And I think Keontae George could still benefit playing off ball, but can also still be like the short-term point guard and then have him get adjusted to playing with Topic because Sexton isn't really a point guard either. And that Taylor Horton-Tucker experiment a little bit ago definitely did not work out. So for you guys watching on YouTube, it says the Thunder, but this would be to the Utah Jazz. So I like the idea of the Jazz getting Nikola Topic to be their franchise point guard going forward because I think he has franchise point guard potential. So terrible result for the Pistons. They end up with the 4th overall pick with the abysmal start they had to the season. I don't think they would go guard with Ivy and Cade. It really wouldn't make a lot of sense. I think this is a prime Cody Williams pick. I don't think there's really a big man that they would want. I really wouldn't love Matas Buzelis here. I like Ron Holland defensively, but I think as like a complimentary piece, and he's still, I think, my top college prospect. That would be Cody Williams, the wing out of Colorado. Still a good floor spacer. Still somebody that could be a nice complimentary piece. And that's what these guys kind of are at the end of the day. None of these guys, I think, are really going to be a 1 or a 2 ever on a really good team that's competing for a championship. I don't know if any of these players are going to be like multiple time All-Stars. I'm sure some guys here will have like All-Star appearances under their belt, but I don't know how many of them are going to be like long-term All-Stars. But I like the idea of Cody Williams here going to the Detroit Pistons and have him being adjacent to Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham for somebody that's a little bit hesitant with the ball, has to work on his, I think, ball handling ability when he's driving to the rim. But I think he would be able to step in right away and try to help the Pistons be somewhat relevant next year. So next up, we have the Charlotte Hornets. I feel like they would love Matas Buzelis here. I don't think that they would go like ultimate center. I think I like one of the G League guys if it's going to be Buzelis or if it's going to be Ron Holland. Or somebody I really like as well is Jacoby Walter. And if I was the general manager of the Hornets, I would look at Jacoby Walter because I think he has 3-level scoring potential. I think he had his lapses on the defensive side of the court early this year for Baylor, but I think he's been a little bit better as of late. He's got a good size, good frame. I think he has a good enough motor where he's going to be able to, I think, play adjacent to LaMelo Ball in that backcourt. It could play adjacent to him and help him out defensively at times because I feel like LaMelo, I don't know if he'll ever reach his defensive potential because of how good he could really be, but I think him and Walter could be very fun in that backcourt. They could play off each other. They could both play without the ball, and Walter, I think a big thing with him is he could definitely play without the ball. They have their guy at the 5 in Mark Williams. They have another wing in Brandon Miller. Yes, like you can maybe plug and play Ron Holland or Buzelis here at the 4, but I really like the idea of Jacoby Walter and LaMelo Ball in that backcourt. So we have made 5 picks so far. We drafted Alexandre Sarr to the Spurs to pair him up in that front court with Victor Wembanyama. We have Zachary Reese-Shea going to the Wizards at 2 just because I think I would re-sign maybe Tyus Jones, who I still think is a very good playmaker, and he's very young still. He's under 30. I think he's 27. And then Reese-Shea is going to be there. Nikola Topic going to the Jazz because that pick is top 10 protected, so it wouldn't be the Thunder. And then you have the Pistons getting Cody Williams at 4 and Jacoby Walter going to the Charlotte Hornets at 5. Okay, so we're on the clock here. 6 with Portland. They also have a pick later in the lottery as well from the Golden State Warriors. I think this team would look at Buzelis or it would look at Ron Holland. Man, I'm doing this as if I'm a GM of this team, and I like Holland more. I like his defensive upside more. They both have not shot the ball well this year for the G League Ignite, Holland or Buzelis, but Holland, I think, is a little bit more polished overall as a player on both ends of the floor. I mean, Buzelis is 6'10", and he can handle the ball well, and he can run the floor well, and whoever gets him is going to get a nice project player that I think has immense upside, but I think also has immense downside as well. It is a risky pick for sure. But I like Holland, defensive guy. He could play, like, you're not getting another guard here to play with Sharp and Scoot and Simons. I think he's somebody that can learn and play next to Jeremy Grant. They could also look at a center here, but I think it's a little high at 6, and we'll definitely look at a big man maybe at 14. So we're on the clock here with the Grizzlies at 7. If I were the Grizzlies, I would love Reed Shepherd here. I would. I like the idea of Rob Dillingham as well as like a scorer off the bench for them, and I think that's great value too because the way like this draft is going, if the Spurs and the Wizards and the Jazz are picking 1, 2, and 3, the 3 teams that I think could take a point guard, I don't think Wow, yeah, the Jazz really moved up in this lottery, but I don't think they would take Rob Dillingham. I don't think Dillingham goes in the top 3. So like the Pistons wouldn't take him. I don't think the Hornets would take him. I doubt the Blazers would take him. So he could really fall here. I don't hate the idea of having Dillingham go, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the Grizzlies would take him or if I would even like that fit. Like I like Buzelis. They could take a chance on him because he could play next to Triple J. I mean, I think Memphis could be in like a trade down scenario here because I don't think like Yves Missi goes this high or Donovan Clingan. Kyle Filipowski, I doubt either at 7. That's a little rich. So I think they take a chance on Buzelis just because of his front court potential and somebody at 6'10". He needs to put a lot of weight on. He's very skinny. He weighs 200 pounds at 6'10". Needs to work on that jumper, but has a good handle, and I feel like Memphis, that's something they would do. And I actually like the fit of Buzelis going to Memphis here. So at number 8, we have the Houston Rockets. I like Kyle Filipowski here to them as well. I like that idea. I don't mind them getting another big man. They'll have Steven Adams coming back from injury, and it could be like a rotational big. But I think I like Rob Dillingham, but I don't think Rob Dillingham goes here. I don't. I like Rob Dillingham a lot, but I don't like him to Houston because they have Amen Thompson. They have Fred VanVleet. We'll see what's going on with Jalen Green. I don't know if there'd be enough playing time for him next year. So I think they could go with another front court guy. And I think maybe they take a chance on Tijan Salon. But 8 is high. But I kind of like his fit there because he doesn't need to contribute right away. He could benefit from being in the G League or being a back end of the rotational guy for years 1 and 2 because he's young. He's a raw prospect, but it can eventually develop into a nice stretch 4. So I actually like the idea of Tijan Salon. I mean, I would like it a little bit more to the Rockets at like 11 or 12, but at 8, you know what? I think it's fine. So Spurs at 9, I think this is fallen into the Rob Dillingham. Like I think Reed Shepherd as a playmaker too would be great, but I don't think Rob Dillingham falls later than number 9. So the Spurs end up with Alexander Sarr and Rob Dillingham in this class. My number 1 and number 5 ranked prospects right now. Number 2, I have Zachary Risache. Number 3, I have Nikola Topic. Number 4, I have Cody Williams. And number 5, I have Rob Dillingham. And then it's pretty much like 6 is Ron Holland for me. And I was never a big Jacoby Walter fan, but I've been starting to like him a lot more. He played well against Kansas over the weekend. And I have, the Spurs getting a great combo guard eventually. Somebody that could be offensively the one or the two, good playmaker, and one of the best shooters in this class. And if now, like, the knock on Dillingham will be his defense, but you got 2 giants in Alex Sarr and Victor Wembanyama in that front court behind him. That is fantastic. And then you also could have Jeremy Shohan out there defensively, and you can also have Devin Vassell out there. Like, that is a fine versatile lineup, and I'm a fan of that. So we have the Thunder at 10. This is from the Houston Rockets. This is from the Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook trade. Could they go another guard? I don't know. I think I like Reed Shepherd to this team as a connector, as a glue guy, as somebody that could be a good playmaker, a good facilitator, a good shooter. OKC, though, probably wants a big man as well. So if I were them, I do like Yves Missi. I do like Kyle Filipowski. You know what? I think I'm going to have them take Kyle Filipowski. I feel like the Thunder have been a team to also trend towards like the international guys. Like they've drafted Usman Shanghai, they've drafted Alexis Pukajevsky, Josh Giddey. Like they do like those international prospects and them coming over to the States. So I could definitely see them looking. I don't even know who like the top international guy would be here, honestly. So I'm gonna have them go Kyle Filipowski now that like we had Tijan Salon off the board and obviously Reese Hachey and Alex Sarr. So we have the Atlanta Hawks at 11. Did not think they would be picking this high when the season started. Will Trae Young be on this team next year? I do not know. I do not know at all. But I'm going to have them take Reed Shepherd. I think his performance against Mississippi State, I think solidified what he can do in the NBA. And if there was any thoughts about him even returning to college, those are thrown out the window. He's never going to be a top 15 guy in the league, top 20 guy in the league, but he's somebody that's going to be able to pass well. He can rebound well for his size, and he's just a bucket. He's got good court vision. He plays hard on defense, and he's 6'3" as well. So I'm going to draft Reed Shepherd going to Atlanta. Him and Kobe Buffkin off the bench next year in that backcourt could be fun if they do decide to keep Trae Young and DeJounte Murray in the offseason. So we have the Bulls at 12. I kind of hate this spot for them right now because I don't think they need to draft another guard. Like, hopefully Lonzo's playing next year. We'll see if LaVine is back. Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White have both been phenomenal for them this season. So, and with Alex Caruso on this roster, they do not need a guard. They could look at forward. Would this be high for Dalton Connect? And also, would it make sense for a team that's rebuilding to take someone that's going to be 23 years old in the start of next year's season? Probably not. So I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. There's a guy I really like in this draft. I'm just like seeing any other names that are appealing to me here. Because I don't like Ryan Dunn here. I don't, unless they're trying to compete. Like Stephon Castle is interesting because I think Stephon Castle isn't going to be a true point guard. I think he could be like an off-ball slasher cutter, can still handle the rock on the second unit. And I think, all right, I was going to do something a little bit unorthodox. I don't even know where he's ranked. Okay, I did just see him. But yeah, I'm going to have them take Stephon Castle. I think he goes here at 12. I think that the guy I was going to take maybe a little bit of a reach, but I think I would take him here, the guy I was thinking of. And I'll say who it was when we get to that pick eventually. But Stephon Castle going to the Bulls here. Not, I think, a traditional point guard. I think would probably be better without the ball in his hands and getting set up by lead guards Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu and Alex Caruso next year. But who knows what this Bulls roster even looks like? Should they have traded Caruso? Yes. Should they have traded LaVine when they had the chance? Yes. Should they have traded DeRozan if there was any offer? Yes. But they didn't. So I have no idea if they're going to actually blow it up in this offseason. I doubt DeRozan resigns with this team. I don't know why he'd want to unless he gets overpaid because he's not going to win anything there. And I would think you'd want to get a ring or at least try to compete one before he retires. So we get the Pelicans at 13. Somebody that has been phenomenal as of late has been Isaiah Collier from USC. He was great, I believe, against he was great against Washington over the weekend. He had a great first half. He's a good driver. He's got a good touch around the rim. He's a bruiser. He's like a bowling ball going to the rim because he's very strong and he's got great strength, like going at defenders, especially just even guards like around his size or even bigger than him. He's great at. I think he's got to work on the jumper for sure. But either way, I think Collier is a good enough point guard prospect to take in the lottery. And the Pelicans, a team that could look for one. Like, is CJ McCollum going to be there for how much longer, right? Will we see point Zion in full effect? I mean, this team could also look for a big man as well with Jonas Valanciunas being a free agent, and there are some in this class. So, if I wasn't going to go Isaiah Collier, I would have liked them to take Yves Missi, who I'm starting to like a little bit more than Donovan Clingan, just because I think Clingan, they do similar things well, but I think Missi's the better athlete, and I think he's had less injury history as well, less injured history. So, we are here with the Blazers at 14. They could go big man. I mean, Robert Williams has kind of been injury prone, and obviously he barely played before he ended up getting out for the season for them after being in the Jrue Holiday trade. So I think they could go big man. I think this could be a Yves Missi pick, just somebody that's an athletic freak. He could be a rim runner. He could be a pick and roll partner to Scoot Henderson next year. And I'm starting to like him a little bit more than Clingan, so that's why I'm going there. Raptors at 15, I think they could also look at big man here. But somebody I think to take a chance on more than Donovan Clingan is Tyler Smith of the G League Ignite. 6'10", a little bit raw of a prospect, but I think Toronto could be perfect. And I think there's a scenario where you can have Scotty Barnes at the 4 and maybe Tyler Smith at the 5 eventually. I think he's going to be a good defender. He's got very good touch around the rim, and he can space the floor for somebody at 6'10", and that is going to be valuable in this league for sure. I disagree with not a ton of upside that Fansville has here. I think he has a ton of upside. Michael Porter Jr., I don't know, man. I think he can play more like a big at the NBA level too. Does he need to put on a little bit of weight? Yes. But either way, I think he's a very good player, and he could be, I don't even know if it's a small ball 5 at 6'10", just because maybe he's a little bit lighter. But Tyler Smith to Toronto, I love at 15, and I think he's somebody, as we get closer to the draft, could be looked more and more as a lock in the lottery. He's one of my favorite prospects. He's a borderline top 10 guy for me right now. So 16, Orlando Magic. I've been mocking this a ton. I think I'm going to keep going with it. Yeah, I'm going to go with it here. Dalton Knecht out of Tennessee, a bucket getter, man. Like I said, though, he's going to be 23 when the season starts, but they need somebody that can space the floor, that can create his own shot, and Knecht could be that guy. I think they do need somebody that's a good floor spacer as well, and somebody that is going to be able to play off ball, which Knecht can do. But I don't know if there's somebody like that in the draft, unless they trade down. Do they look at Jared McCain? But McCain is maybe a little bit undersized to go next to Anthony Black, but Knecht's insane. He had a phenomenal game this week as well, and he is going to be somebody that's going to go very high in this draft. So even like 16, where I just had him go, that might be the floor. So to do a quick recap, Sarr number 1 of the Spurs, Reece Shea number 2 to the Wizards, Nikola Topic 3 to the Thunder, Cody Williams 4 to the Pistons, Jacoby Walter 5 to the Hornets, Ron Holland 6 to the Blazers, Montes Buzelis 7 to the Grizzlies, Tijan Salon 8 to the Rockets, 9 Spurs select Robert Dillingham, so they get Dillingham and Sarr in this mock. Love that for them. Filipowski 10 to the Thunder, and when I said Topic to the Thunder before, I meant the Jazz, sorry. Reed Shepherd going to the Hawks at 11, Stephon Castle to the Bulls at 12, Isaiah Collier to the Pelicans at 13, Yves Missi, Blazers 14, Tyler Smith, Raptors 15, and then we have Dalton Knecht to the Magic at 16. So we're on the clock with the Sixers here at 17. There's some guys I do like here. I mean, this could be Donovan Clingan because with Embiid's injury history, they do need some size, and maybe they don't want to see Mo Bamba play next year. I love the idea of Jared McCain on this team, too, out of Duke. I love Devin Carter in this draft. He could be this year's Brandon Podziemski, an insane rebounder, great height, great size for somebody that, as a guard. But I think I'm going to have them go Clingan here. I think this could be Clingan's floor as well, going 17, and Philly definitely needs some insurance behind Joel Embiid at that center spot with him and B-Ball Paul there. So we have the Knicks at 18. I think this could be a Devin Carter pick. The Knicks love these kind of guys, and I would be very happy if the Knicks ended up with Devin Carter. Phenomenal rebounder, phenomenal hustle guy, and also a very good shooter as well. Has a nice jumper. It goes in, and I think he's a perfect guy for this Knicks system. If only he went to Villanova, am I right? So Devin Carter going to the Knicks. You can see the numbers right now on your screen on YouTube. 19.5 points, almost 3.5 assists, 8.3 rebounds, and shooting 48% from the field. He's becoming a top 20 guy for me, 100%, and I think it's almost a guarantee he would go top 20 on draft night. So we have the Heat at 19. Couple guys I do like for them here. I wonder if Johnny Furphy from Kansas is going to be in this class. I like the idea of Ethan Almanza with his nice touch around the rim, somebody that could play maybe in between Jimmy and Bam. But I'm gonna have them select Ryan Dunn, the best defensive guy in this class. Could buy into this Heat system. Not a great shooter, but there have been multiple guys that have joined the Heat, not as great shooters, and have developed that aspect of their game. And that could be Ryan Dunn under Eric Spoelstra and one of the best player development staffs in this league. And like I said, Ryan Dunn is a phenomenal defender. And him and Bam Adebayo playing next to each other, oh man, that is going to be some of the best two-man defensive lineups we can see. So we have the Hawks here at 20. This is from Sacramento from the Kevin Huerter trade back in the 2022 offseason. Who do I like here for the Hawks at 20? I don't think Clint Capella is on this team next year. I would be shocked. It would make no sense. So I like Kel'el Ware still as a first-round guy. I've been seeing him go later in mocks, which is weird. But I like Ethan Almanza a little bit more to the G League Ignite. Somebody that can be maybe a true four. I have no idea DeAndre Hunter's future on this team or Bogdan Bogdanovic. I assume Jalen Johnson is the franchise, either 3 or 4 going forward. We'll see what moves they make, but Almanza could provide them some good big man depth. And I think I would love to see some 3-man lineups of Jalen Johnson at the 3, Almanza at the 4, and Onyeka Okongwu at the 5. That would be fun, a new environment in Atlanta. And I know DeAndre Hunter's a good player, but maybe his time there is a little bit done. What's going on with AJ Griffin? But yeah, Atlanta. I don't want to see Clint Capella on this team next year. I want to see Onyeka Okongwu be the full-time starting 5. So we have these Suns at 21. Who do I like here? I think I like Jared McCain. I do, out of Phoenix. I would love Jared McCain to Philly. We just did, or eventually Milwaukee. I think he'd be a perfect buck, but this dude is one of the best shooters in this class, plays phenomenal off ball, and maybe the Suns are looking for a little bit more size though. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna talk myself out of this pick, so I'm gonna undo this pick, and I think I'm gonna like Kel'el Ware. I think they could draft for a little bit more size, or this could be a Zach Edey pick, and I like Ware more than Edey. I just do. I think he can space the floor, that's objectively true, better than Zach Edey. I think he's more athletic, and I think he could be a more, staple to a team going forward, and I think he has better starter potential in the NBA. I'm not a big Edey guy, but I think Edey will be a first-round pick. Knicks at 22. Since they drafted Devin Carter, I don't think they go Jared McCain. I think they could take a little bit more of a project player. That would be Johnny Furphy. I just don't know what he's going to be like in this class. So I'm going to have them take Bobby Klintman out of the NBL. He went to Wake Forest last year and then ended up not going into the draft, playing at Carnes in the NBL. And I think he could take a little bit of time to develop, but good size, can space the floor. It could be a nice pick and roll partner to Jalen Brunson. Maybe it's to Devin Carter. Maybe it's to Miles McBride down the line. So the Knicks end up with 2, I think, really good selections for them, with Devin Carter at 18 and Bobby Klintman at 22. So we're on the Pelicans here at 23. I drafted Isaiah Collier before, so I don't think I'm going to go another guard. I think they could go for a big man as well. So this may be the Zach Edey pick. He is my next best big man on the board. I like PJ Hall's offensive game. I like Aaron Bradshaw, but I think he should stay another year at Kentucky as well. You have Ryan Kalkbrenner from Creighton, but I think at that point, those guys aren't better than Zach Edey. So yeah, let's take a chance on Zach Edey going 23 to the Pelicans. Oh, man. I just wonder where he's going to go. He's definitely going to be such a polarizing prospect to people. I talked about it before. Maybe I lined it up perfectly. But Jared McCain going to the Bucks here at number 24. A great off-ball shooter. Somebody that could just be a phenomenal kind of just connecting piece. Or I've used that term a couple times. But just a connecting piece to Damian Lillard, to Malik Beasley, and Giannis and Middleton. For somebody that can come off the bench and be a nice spark plug. But hopefully they do develop him a little bit better than they've kind of done MarJon Beauchamp. Because I feel like they haven't done him any favors. So we're on the clock here with the Wizards at 25. They could look for a point guard. I like Trey Alexander. I like Tyler Kolek from Marquette. This could be like a Jalen Tyson pick. This could be a Deron Holmes pick. This could be an Oso Ighodaro pick. Keyshawn George as well. I had them go Reese before, but I think they could look for a big man, and I think that's going to be Deron Holmes out of Dayton. One of the better big men in this class. Very talented offensive big man. A guy that's kind of a 4, kind of a 5, and last time we talked about somebody like that from Dayton, it was Obi Toppin. Didn't work out, but I think Deron Holmes may be a little bit better. Not as flashy as Obi was at Dayton, but I think possibly a better prospect going back to it. So we're on the clock here with the Cavs at 26. Man, I would really mock them Johnny Furphy here, but I just don't know if he's going to be in this class, but I guess I might as well mock it as he is because it's up in the air. I think he should stay another year at Kansas. This could also be a Keyshawn George pick as well. Project of a player for sure, but somebody that has immense 3-and-D upside, and I think Cleveland could afford to use that. Maybe. I don't know, though. I don't know. But Johnny Furphy is also more of a project player as well, so that's a little bit risky. Tyler Kolek, though, but they have Craig Porter Jr. and obviously Darius Garland, so they'd be drafting a third-string point guard here. I don't know about that. Dylan Jones from Weber State's a good scorer. I like his game a lot. I do like that idea. Yeah, I'm going to go Dylan Jones. I think he has maybe better scoring upside immediately over anybody else that I mentioned, even Kevin McCullough, who's an upperclassman at Kansas. So I'm going to have them go Dylan Jones at a Weber State, and I think he could eventually end up as a first-round pick. So we're on the clock here with the Nuggets at 27. This, I think, is either Johnny Furphy or it's Keyshawn George. And I think Keyshawn George is going to end up being in this draft and not stay another year at Miami. And we've seen Denver take some of these raw prospects before, like Peyton Watson at 30. We've seen them take Zeke Naji out of Gonzaga. We've seen them take R.J. Hampton, even though it didn't work out, but we've seen them take R.J. Hampton out of the NBL. Julian Strother, definitely more NBA ready coming out of Gonzaga. But I'm going to go Keyshawn George here, who I think could be a very good 3-and-D guy for them, maybe in year 2, 3, and 4 of his rookie contract, just maybe not his rookie season. So we are on the clock here with the Timberwolves, a team that's been looking for some backup point guard help. Carlton Carrington from Pittsburgh, a name to mention, but I think he has his inefficiencies. That's going to hurt. I wish I saw more from DJ Wagner this year at Kentucky, but they could take a chance on him. I wonder if Tyrese Proctor's going to enter the draft. I feel like he should, but people are kind of wary about that. I like Trey Alexander's game a lot from Creighton, but I'm going to go Tyler Kolek, who can help them be a facilitator and a lead floor general for that second unit next year, as they're still going to try to win the championship in 2025 before Rudy Gobert starts hitting probably some notable regression. So yeah, I'm going to have Kolek go there. 28 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. 29, we have the Utah Jazz. I had them select this Nikola Topic before at pick number 3. I like Trey Alexander, though. I like a combo guard in Trey Alexander. Since they moved Kelly Olynyk, they could go a big man as well. This could be like a Ryan Kalkbrenner pick. I don't think I like any other big men like noticeably here, like big men. So I could go that. I think I could go Oso Ighodaro out of Marquette, and that's probably what I'm going to lean towards. Somebody a little bit more size for them since we went Nikola Topic at 3. And to wrap out the first round, we're going to have the Boston Celtics at 30. So I think I'm going to have them take a guard, and I think Trey Alexander as a scorer off the bench right away too. Junior from Creighton, good jumper, can space the floor, good rebounder for his size, good passer. He's honestly an all-around player, and I think Trey Alexander should go higher than this. I'm definitely going to have him better as like the 30th ranked prospect. So I last talked about the top 15 picks, 16 picks. 17 was Donovan Clingan to the Sixers. 18 was Devin Carter to the Knicks. Ryan Dunn to the Heat at 19. Ethan Almanza 20 to the Hawks. Khalil Ware 21 to the Suns. Bobby Klitman 22 to the Knicks. Zach Edey 23 to the Pelicans. Jared McCain 24 to the Bucks. Deron Holmes 25 to the Wizards. Dylan Jones 26 to the Cavs at Weber State. Keyshawn George out of Miami 27 to the Nuggets. Tyler Kolek to the Timberwolves at 28, Oso Ighodaro to the Jazz at 29, and Trey Alexander to the Celtics at 30. So we'll get into the second round. I'm going to go a little bit quicker with this. I know at least like 30 players where I'm comfortable ranking here, but there's maybe some guys that I'm not going to have go. Like, I don't know much about, where was his name before? Sorry, I'm just going to pull up his name. Like Ulrich from the NBA Academy Africa. I don't know anything about him. I assume he's going to get drafted. People think he's going to get drafted. Smart people like Wasserman and Gavoni. So I'm sure he'll get drafted. I'm probably not going to just draft anybody that I'm really not familiar with their game in this mock. So we're on the clock here at 31. With the Raptors, they got Tyler Smith at 15. This would definitely be Johnny Furphy for me. Like I said before, I think he should stay another year at Kansas, but somebody that definitely has good jumper, upside, and they like the Kansas guards as they took Grady Dick in the lottery last year. We do have the Jazz at 32. We've drafted Nikola Topic and Oso Ighodaro. A little bit of an older guy, but I think they can go with Kevin McCullough here out of Kansas. Nice mid-range game. Has his inefficiencies, though, at times. Dealt with injuries this year, or at least an injury with Kansas, and he's 22 years old. So some knocks on him. Spurs at 33. They have 43. They have Alex Sarr, who we took 1, and Rob Dillingham, who we got 9. So this has been a great class for them. I like Tristan Da Silva out of Colorado. I like Justin Edwards taking a chance on him out of Kentucky. DJ Wagner or Carlton Carrington could also be picks, but I think Justin Edwards has the upside that San Antonio could look to develop as well. So I'm going to have them go with another Wildcat since they went with Dillingham and they're going to get Edwards there. We have the Blazers at 34. I like Tristan Da Silva there. I like them going another forward, and I think I had them taking a forward earlier. Yeah, I had Ron Holland at 6, and we had Yves Missi at 14, and then they end up with Tristan Da Silva at 34 from Colorado, who I think could be a nice pool. Like, we'll see if he's going to be able to play make it the next level, but I think somebody that could be a nice defender, nice rim runner for the Portland Trailblazers. So we are on the clock here at 35 with the Milwaukee Bucks. This could be another backup point guard. There's some good ones here. I mean, I like Proctor immediately better than Wagner, but Wagner has higher upside, so I think they take a chance on him. So they end up with Wagner, and they end up with Jared McCain in this class. Interesting how that works out. So we're on the clock here at 36 with the Timberwolves. I think they can go another guard. I mean, I took Kolek at 28. Why not? Let's take Tyrese Proctor here in the second round, and they're going to just address that backup point guard spot. They don't have to allocate maybe overspend on Monte Morris too, because obviously Mike Conley's going to be the starter next year. We have the Sixers at 37. They took Donovan Clingan at 17. They can go for another backup guard as well. They can look at Jay Mitchell from Santa Barbara. I think I like Jalen Tyson, though, out of Cal. This dude is a bucket for real. What's his numbers? They don't have his numbers right now, but his scoring numbers are insane this year. Last time I checked, 6'7", 215. Big fan of him out of Cal. And I think he could be a fringe first rounder. So we have the Grizzlies at 38. Going through here, Alex Caravan I like, man, as a shooter. I almost have him as like a top 30 prospect in this class. Juan Nunez could be a pick here. I'm not really a big fan of like Terrence Shannon and Harrison Ingram, just kind of going through these. Barely Shireman, I like a little bit more, and I think I'm definitely going to have him drafted. This could be Carlton Carrington from Pitt. I don't know, man. I don't think Carrington's going to be great. Aaron Bradshaw gives him some size at the 5, and if he's going to be in this class, that's probably who they can go for. He's young, but he could be behind some guys next year. And then I had them selecting Buzelis earlier, so kind of going with that trend with these guys that are basically 7-footers. So at number 39, we have the Charlotte Hornets. I like Trayvon Brazile. I like Alex Caravan, though, as a floor spacer, somebody that could be a nice spot-up shooter with playing off of guys that are going to have the ball in their hands a ton, and Brandon Miller, newly drafted Jacoby Walter, and obviously LaMelo Ball coming back, and I'm a big fan of Caravan. So that is our third UConn Husky drafted since we had Stephon Castle 12 to the Bulls, and Donovan Clingan 17 of the Sixers. We're at 40 with the Trailblazers. I like them kind of going PJ Hall, skilled around the rim, could have maybe a little bit of a touch, 10 feet out, and they can look for some more big man depth. I'm sure Aiden will be back. I drafted a big man too with them in Yves Missi, but we're getting them some size and length there, and not really taking too many touches from Scoot Henderson. The Knicks at 41, they've taken Devin Carter and Bobby Klintman in this draft. I like Trayvon Brazile from Arkansas. I could definitely see the Knicks trading this pick. I like Hunter Salas from Wake Forest. Bronny James is on here as well, but I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to have Bronny if he's actually going to be in this class. They could take Zvonimir Ivisic from Kentucky, but I feel like he should stay another year. I like Bailey Shireman. Just kind of going through these names. AJ Johnson could be a name. Reese Beekman from Virginia. Would that be a reach? I don't know. I don't know if it would be. But I'm going to have them go Trayvon Brazile from Arkansas. So next up, we have the Celtics at 42. They got Trey Alexander at 30. I love that pick for them a ton. And I think I'm going to have them take, I like Hunter Salas. Like that Duke game, man, this dude is efficient. He's got great touch around the rim. He can handle the rock. Maybe not as good of a passer as you'd like to see from somebody at the lead guard position, but he can maybe be a little bit off ball, maybe end up as a wing in the NBA. So we're on the clock here with the San Antonio Spurs. We've had them take Alex Sarr, Rob Dillingham, Justin Edwards. I'm sure at this point they'd take a chance on Carlton Carrington from Pittsburgh. We'll see how good of a passer he's going to be at the next level, but he's athletic enough, and maybe if he just develops a spot-up jumper and he's not like good overall from the field, he could be a 2-guard. He could be. So Carrington's the pick there. The Spurs end up with a nice draft here in this mock. Rockets at 44. We haven't talked about them since taking Tijon Salon at number 8. This could be a stash player. So Bronny James still on the board, right? I feel like I should just have him take Bronny here. This is where I maybe even think about taking Bronny, because Bronny is a project for sure. I like Melvin Ajinka. I've heard very good things about him and just some highlights I've seen. So all of them go there. And then we got the Magic at 45. This could be a Dembona from UCLA. This could be Baba Miller from Florida State. Yeah, I'm gonna like that pick a ton. I think maybe he should stay another year at Florida State to be a for sure first round pick next year. But if he knows he'll go in the early second, he should definitely declare. I like Jackson Robinson because I know he's got good size. He's got solid touch, solid handles. I feel like he could be a fine pick here from, this is the Philly, or no, this is the Clippers at 46. So somebody we haven't mentioned yet. I like Jackson Robinson going here. I do. So we're going to have Jackson Robinson go. We have the Miami Heat at 47. We took Ryan Dunn at 19. This could be Colin Boswell from Arizona. This could be Ajay Mitchell from Santa Barbara. And I think that's going to be my pick. Junior, good passer, good rebounder, solid scorer, and he could fit right into Miami for sure. Boston at 48. I mean, none of these guys, they do need to work on the bench, and they get Alexander at 30, Salas at 42. I'm taking Bronny James here just to get him off my board. I don't even know if Boston would take him. That would just be hilarious, so we're doing it for the memes. We're taking Bronny James to Boston at 48. So we've got 10 picks left because I think 2 are forfeited. So I'm going to have them, we have the Sixers at 49. Okay, wait, it says that it's been forfeited, so should I just take somebody random? I don't know how Fanspo's doing this. All right, let's take Matthew Morrell from Ole Miss. Sure. I don't know if that actually drafts him. I guess it does. It does. Interesting. All right, so we're on the clock here with the Kings at 50. They could just kind of go all over the place here. They took Colby Jones in the second round last year. Don't have their first rounder from the Kevin Huerter trade. This could be Judah Mintz from Syracuse, because I don't know how much longer Davion Mitchell's on this team. We could go Wooga from Miami here at number 51 with the Wizards, and I think that is going to be my pick. We got the Pacers, 52. Going through this. Kwame Evans, take a chance on him. Project for sure out of Oregon. Watch him just end up being like a Nuggets first rounder. We got the Pistons at 53. Haven't picked since number 4, Cody Williams, because they don't own their second rounder. And I think they can look for a backup point guard in Juan Nunez. I think, right, Ratio is the same team that Killian Hayes is on. So we're doing it for the memes as well. Next up at 54 with the Pacers, we just took Kwame Evans. Let's take a Dembona, get some more size. We'll see if Jalen Smith's back on this team next year. Lakers first rounder or first pick in this draft at 55. I like Colin Boswell from Arizona and could maybe be immediately, I don't know, better than Jalen Hood-Schifino, but can definitely give him some more competition. I still like Maxwell Lewis, who they got in the second round last year a ton. 56, Pacers. I think this could be, honestly, I think he should go in the first round. I'm maybe a little bit biased as a UNC fan, but I think RJ Davis should go in this draft. I think he's draftable for sure. The way he's able to move without the ball and kind of the confidence he has, I think he should go in the late second. Suns pick is technically forfeited at 57, so I'll just have them take, Donovan Dent from New Mexico. So I like Riley Kugel here. I like Reese Beekman to the Grizzlies at 58, defensive-minded guard, good passer as well. So senior from Virginia, probably not going to go high in a draft. Kenneth Simpson could go to Denver here at 59 from Colorado, and that's the third Buffalo in this class, with Cody Williams at 4, Tristan Da Silva I had go early second at 34, and then there was Kenneth Simpson, 59. And with the final pick in this class from the Dallas Mavericks, let's go Riley Kugel out of Florida. But you could also look at, I actually like Tristan Newton a little bit more, but I don't think I can back out of this screen. So that is going to be the draft. If you guys are on YouTube, you can kind of get a full visual version. And then hopefully you were able to follow along decently enough if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you guys did. Let me know, please, your thoughts on this mock as well. What do you think about it? Do you like the idea of this player going to your team? Do you not? And yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more of this. I can do maybe a post-conference tournament mock and then like pre-March Madness, and then we can do one once March Madness is over. So thank you all for watching and listening. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.